Welcome back, Bravehearts. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a live consultation with Aaron. Right, Aaron?
Yes. Hello.
Okay. So just so you know, everybody, we haven't been able to put up on our banners about our shows because there's something going on with Facebook. But anyways, we're going to do a live consultation with Aaron. And just so you know, tomorrow at 12 o'clock Central Time, I will be doing a live Q&A on Zoom. And we are on Zoom today, so I will take some questions after we do Aaron's consult if you want. But tomorrow for sure, join us at 12 o'clock Central Time, and we will be doing a live Q&A on Zoom. You can write your questions on YouTube, you can write them on Facebook, and we can read them, or you can come live on Zoom, okay? All right, so, and also know, everyone, that the sale will be over tonight at 1 minute to midnight, because I've been getting texts. Yes, it is over tonight, 1 minute to midnight. So if you want to take part in that, great. So we have tomorrow's, it's called New World Health Live Q&A at 12 o'clock Central Time. And then on Wednesday, we have Braveheart Women, okay? And they're going to be talking about how to unleash the feminine. Now, this will be a weekly show. So that will be happening every Thursday at 12 Central Time, okay? And on Wednesday, I'm going to be in the tent, and we're going to be doing a talk for the people that are taking the Wolfe non-surgical course and anybody else that wants to drop in. That's here at the World Healing and Training Center in Ixtapa. So if you want to join us on Facebook, you can. It might be just on Facebook. I don't know if we're going to be able to get set up and have it on all the other platforms. So it will maybe just be on Facebook, everybody. And then they'll move it to Telegram and Bitchute and Rumble and Brighton the following day or that night. Okay, so let's talk. Let's do the consult.
All right.
Okay, so we're doing a consult on Aaron. And Aaron has already taken the course.
This is my third
Time?
going to be.
Right,
Yeah.
and she will be a master practitioner.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, so she wants to do the consult because guess what? It's all about ourselves. It really is. And once you understand, if you can emotionally and physically look after yourself, just think of the burden that you take off of your family and your friends. Just think of the burden you take off of yourself. You know, if you actually learned how to create the perfect day for yourself, you're not going to have to be part of the 92%. You do that know that 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease, which means that they don't even know that they're actually killing themselves one piece at a time. And the reality is the human body is amazing. And the reality is we've been programmed to believe that we are walking disease factories. What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's start.
Okay. So.
And you'll have to speak a little closer, right?
Yep.
Correct? Yeah, if you don't.
So one thing I realized when filling this out is some of these things from being here are starting to resolve.
Like
so,
what? Well, why don't you tell people where do you mind? Could you tell people where you think you were at with your health before you even came for the first course? And do you mind if I take a moment? So just if you're new here, just understand this, okay? The first course, okay, every course is approximately 23 days long. She took the whole life coach and then she took the non-surgical, right?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Okay, so she's taken it for the third time. So let's talk about where you were, and then we'll go through everything. We'll do the consult, but talk about where you were before the first course, after the course, and then after the second course, and where you think you are now. Just show people that repetition is the key, but when you're repeating healthy things, okay, not unhealthy things, then you can see your whole vibe change.
Yes. So before I came here, I had several issues going on. One was about 5 or 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, which is like raised antibodies in the thyroid, and I was having some issues with that. My hair was starting to get brittle, lack of energy, mood issues. So I had some of that going on, and
But let's talk about
Yeah.
Hashimoto's if we could for a second.
sure.
So Hashimoto's means that you've been terrorizing yourself on an unconscious, subconscious level forever. There is no such thing as Hashimoto's. There's such thing as creating enough anxiety to keep on and continually dumping the hack, which is histamine, adrenaline, cortisol, to the point that you're burning out your nervous system and your brain. And then what happens is you also went into depression. You would have had to have gone into, anybody with Hashimoto's goes into depression. They also can't sleep at night. They also feel like they're exhausted, tired, and they feel anxious all the time. Because once it's like running down a steep hill. Once you start running down that hill, you can't stop yourself. And if you do try to stop, you're going to do a face plant, which you're doing a face plant already, or you're doing a brain burn for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it was, pretty much. Although I did suffer with anxiety and depression long before the Hashimoto's kicked in, which
that was
probably triggered it.
Well, no, Hashimoto's is a chronic dumping, okay, of adrenaline, and a chronic dumping, and it's a whipping of your thyroid. That's what it is. You have to have tons of anxiety and stress way before that, okay? So what happens is, just like the heart, if somebody has a lot of emotional problems, emotional stress, the heart will grow larger because it believes it has to get stronger. And you ever notice that like a star will grow larger before it dies, right? Your thyroid will go on fire, but then it'll grow larger because it says, I have to become bigger for the job because it cannot handle the brute force of your anxiety.
Yeah, I would say that was the root of a lot what was going on.
Yeah, there's no such thing as like, what people need to go is, where did I get the Hashimoto's from? Is it genetic? No. There are no genetic diseases. I don't believe there's any genetic diseases. I believe that everything can be weaned out, even if there was 2% or 3% of diseases being genetic. Nobody really knows for sure, but we know that it's epigenetic anyways, all diseases pretty well. And the reality is you can wean anything out. I mean, people in a family have the same conditions because they talk about getting them, and they eat the same and think the same and have the same beliefs. And it's your belief systems that cause your physical conditions. End of story. I don't mind going toe-to-toe with anybody, whether it's a psychologist, psychiatrist, scientist, medical doctor. I don't really care. The reality is I truly believe that it's all based on the invisible, and the invisible being on how you actually process. You process everything that goes on in your world.
And that's a huge thing I realized, especially after the first course that I took, about things not being genetic.